Hello, I'm Dr. Banji Awosika. I'm going to continue with a series I started I've termed Security. This is the second episode of this series. And the question now becomes, insecurities, how do you know you have insecurities? How do you know there are insecurities to be addressed? Well, interestingly enough, you will know. But as important is being open to criticism, being open to people that love you, telling you about insecurities that they see in you. You see, I think it's very, very important that when there's miscommunication, in other words, when you receive communication and you're not happy with what you received, it's very important, rather than going directly into conflict because you're not happy with the communication you received, find out, first of all, what you need or what part you're playing in that conflict, so to speak. Is that conflict happening because of your insecurities? Is it happening because there's certain things that just make you feel insecure that are being, it could be trigger words. It could be words that are said by whoever is communicating with you that just trigger insecurity. Just that feeling of not feeling safe within that zone, emotionally or physically. It's very important to recognize that. Recognize what triggers you. Recognize what brings insecurities of the past back to where you are in the present. Insecurities that you probably have dealt with. It could be the insecurities of poverty, right? Being brought up dirt poor. Well, that could lead to certain insecurities as you get older, as you relate to other people, especially people that grew up in a different way, people that grew up with a silver spoon. In relating to them, it's very, very easy for your insecurities to be fueled. Because there'll be certain mindsets and certain attitudes that person that was much more well off than you were financially as a kid has that you can't relate to. And they make you feel insecure. Or it could be in terms of relationship, feeling insecure with your partner because your partner all of a sudden says things that talk to how he or she is not attracted to you anymore. That can lead to insecurities. It's all about learning what works. Because in order to build the right relationships needed to thrive, it's very important to recognize the role you play. People are always looking to blame someone and shame them, right? 3 words I try to stay away from: regrets, blame, and shame. Those 3 things, they take you downturn right away. No matter how happy you are, that energy goes down once you dwell on those 3 things. But when you can look at those 3 things and confront them and say you refuse to have a regret about this, you refuse to shame anyone or be ashamed of this, you refuse to lay blame on anyone or blame yourself for this. Very important. As opposed to doing those things, take responsibility. That doesn't mean you're blaming yourself. That doesn't mean you're feeling shame. No, you're taking responsibility for your actions. Or, at an even higher level, take responsibility for other people's actions. Now that's a higher level. Now that's an even higher level. Okay? Take responsibility for others. But you see, it's the ability to do that that leads to one of my favorite topics, the power of one. And that we'll talk about in the next episode. Till then, keep thriving.